I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, I wanted to talk on being a content creator, not more so for myself, but more so to people that don't really understand the meaning of being a content creator. And I feel like one of the rules that a lot of people need to follow by being a content creator is respecting people's boundaries. Like, I get if, the thing is this. I don't even want to get it. I don't even want to understand it. I don't care if it's your job. You have to respect other people's boundaries. Now, the reason why I'm doing this podcast episode is because I saw a video of this basketball player, well-known basketball player too. Just don't know his name by heart. I think it's like McGee. Hold on for a second. It's JaVale McGee. I think that's how you say his name. But anyway, I knew his name was McGee, but I just didn't remember his first name. But he's a well-known basketball player, right? So it looked like it was a soccer game, right? He's at a soccer game, and I think it was this guy that he's just known for just being weird, some content creator. But he's all in his face with his phone, just like recording. He ain't saying nothing. He ain't doing nothing. He's just sitting in JaVale McGee's face, just recording. Now, I understand, his whole persona is being weird. Look, the thing is this. I get people's, when they create a character, I get that. I understand that. I've dealt with people like that. I've thought of ideas where I can introduce a character into content creating, but I feel like that a lot of people need to understand that is that you have to respect people around you. Now, I want to talk on that. I want to talk on, that word respect, because a lot of people think the word respect, it requires an ownership over that word. You have to put down payments on the word respect. No, respect is free. Respect is like air. It's like water. It's like seeing. It's like hearing. It is free to do. All right. So if you go around being disrespectful, and that's something that I can't really say somewhat, but I have seen where they have tried to have an argument with me about respect and how it's earned and how it's given. Now, here's the thing. I meet random people, all right? And it's the one thing that, and I think it's like that with everybody, but I've met random people where if I introduce the fact that I am a content creator, they will, they look at me differently when they see me in person, because when I'm in person, I'll have to say, I'm not really portraying a character, but at the same time, I guess I am in a way. I think everybody has a little bit of a added character when they are recording videos, streaming, TikTok, all that stuff. But the one time I remember I met these, it was the people that were customizing hoodies and shirts for me a while back. But so anyways, I remember when I had told them, because they asked, I think that's what it was, is that they asked me, oh, what does TMossBoss mean? And I told them, I was like, oh, it's my YouTube name. I'm a YouTuber and all that stuff. So anyways, they go and they, I remember the next time I had went in there to get me another hoodie created, they told me that. They was all we were shocked, because it was you come in here and you're so quiet and all that stuff. And then when we watch your videos, it's you have so much to say, you have so much to talk on. And that's something that's always have stuck with me. It's always something that I'm okay, I guess. But no, that's just, the thing is this. When I go out in public, I'm not TMossBoss. I am myself. I am the man behind TMossBoss, meaning I am a quiet soul. I don't go around bothering people, because that's not what my content is. My content isn't going around bothering people and stuff. Yeah, I'll probably do some videos where I'm trolling people on, Call of Duty or or whatever, like if it gets to that point. But for the most part, I'm doing reaction videos, I'm playing video games, I'm doing podcast episodes, I'm making music, whatever content that you see from me out of the 46 YouTube channels that I have, that is the content that I want to be known for. But not, oh, let me go out and do some pranks where I'm invading somebody's space. Like when I see those prank videos where the guy, he was, and these prank videos just recently happened at that, and I think they stopped because it was like, you're doing this to people where it's like, yeah, she has like some 6'7", 450-pound boyfriend standing right next to her, and maybe it's fake, maybe it's real, but people need to understand this, is that you can lose your life doing these prank videos, because that's the thing, people don't understand, like, you know, you gotta separate your reality from content creating. Yeah, content creating, because that's what I think that a lot of people with content creating, they think that it's this free world. You could do whatever you want, you can say whatever you want, like you can be whoever you want and all that stuff, but you have to understand that there are consequences to being, you know, a quote-unquote content creator. And I feel like that a lot of people, they misread what a content creator is. They think it's these, because like I feel like, yeah, the front page of, you know, content creating is the, you know, of course, because it's like, it's just like a book, right? It's just like a book. You see the cover is interesting, and the cover is, and you know, talking in content creating terms, is the pranksters, you know, the PewDiePies, the who else, the Kai Cenats, you know, the guys that's like, oh, okay, we see them all over, we see them on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. We see them on all these different platforms. We see them on all these different websites. So, of course, people see that. Then they see probably the most cringiest videos from those content creators. And then that's the image that they've painted out for all content creators. So that's like why when they approach me, and then like, even when I remember at my old job at the cafe, and I would tell those guys that I was, you know, a YouTuber at the time when I wasn't streaming. Now I call myself a content creator, but at the time when I was just doing the YouTube stuff. And no, people were like, they were shocked. They were shocked when they seen hate videos on me. And they're like, what is, like, because when you see that's, and I feel like that's when you have, like, I don't know, I have to say, like, I'm a blend between, you know, content creating reality and real life reality. But when, you know, you're in this content creator mindset, right? Like, because I have to say, like, I'm in the content creating mindset a good majority of the day, because I'm thinking of video ideas. I'm thinking of what can I do next? What video can I record today? What can I talk about in my podcast episode? What game can I stream today, tonight, whichever? But when I tell people about the stuff that I've dealt with, I'm still in that mindset. So I'll never forget when I told this book writer about like at that time being like the latest like crazy comment that I had received on YouTube, and she's just asking me, you know, my experience. But I told her, yeah, it was like, you know, the last craziest comment that I got was somebody told me that I deserved to be hanged. Now, when I say that and when I'm thinking that, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, it's crazy or whatever, but telling this to somebody that's not really a content creator, or they're not a content creator at all, they hear that and they're shocked, because they're like, well, what did you say or do? And then when they watch my videos, and fam, I'm telling you, like, it's not even like any of my videos are different than any other video, unless it's the subject I'm talking about. But other than that, who I am in my videos, it's always been like that in every video. It's just me. It's me, I guess, in a way, being me, if that makes sense. I don't know. But anyways, but no, like, people are shocked by when I tell them about the stuff that I deal with as a content creator. And so, and that's just with me. That's just with me just doing reaction videos, podcast episodes. If I say, oh, I'm not a Trump supporter, you're going to have Trump people's, you know, oh, I hate you, this, that, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to be racist. You the N-word this, N-word that, you know. Or even just recently, I just went on TikTok. And no, I talked on that. I was all like, no, people, the way that they be hyping up SpongeBob, and like, the thing is this, I wasn't saying that SpongeBob is a bad show. It's just when I see these videos of people doing these overly dramatic laughs watching SpongeBob, I'm like, okay, it's not that serious. Fam, like, I just chill out, relax, okay? Like, yeah, SpongeBob got some funny scenes, but it's like, man, you know, you see those videos so often. It's like TikTok, it's a weird place, all right? It's an extremely weird place, but again, talking on that, where it's like people see that type of stuff and then they think all TikTokers are like that. I'll go out and tell somebody right now, oh yeah, I'm on TikTok. I post videos on TikTok. Now they're thinking like, oh, well, he's probably another Charlie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, who else? Like, I'm pretty sure there's some famous TikToker out there named Cameron or something. If I can name a boy TikTok, I don't know, bruh. But no, like when I go on TikTok, I'm just being me. And I feel like, what I overall mean by that is me being me. It's like whatever idea pops up into my head where it's like, okay, I haven't seen this. I haven't, nobody hasn't done this already. So it's just me being me. But even if it was something that somebody has already done, it's like, okay, well, I also thought of this idea, so I guess it just falls underneath that category of great minds think alike. But overall, though, it's like, I think that people need to understand is that not all content creators are the same. Like, content creators, we are different in our own ways. Yeah, you have those really extreme, cringy content creators like the one that was in this JaVale McGee video, and then you got people like myself, where it's like, hey, I just want to be heard. I just want to talk on some stuff. I just want, to just do whatever and things, but at the same time not be crazy and weird and wild because, oh, I need to. And I think that's probably why, like, okay, well, yeah, I'm not one of those content creators that gets millions of views and have millions of subscribers and millions of people are talking about me, because I'm not going around doing crazy controversial things. It's like, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's like when PewDiePie, let's think of some controversial stuff. Oh yeah, when he said the N-word, people, they see things like that and now they think all content creators are in that image of a content creator. And it's like, okay, well, for one, I can't be in that position that he was in because I'm allowed to say the N-word. I just choose not to say the N-word and stuff. But anyways, but I guess to put myself in that category and things, like, if there was anything I can say that I did do that offended people was, yeah, reaction videos. Oh, and then I remember I made fun of a cartoon, or not, no, I didn't even make fun. I made fun of the people that was watching, or that are watching the cartoon show, because it's like they're grown-ups watching the kids' cartoon show. Like, no, and the thing is, I know people are like, oh, well, it's like, you watch SpongeBob, you watch cartoons. Yeah, I watch cartoons where it's about comedy, not like educational cartoon shows. Like Thomas, unless they have like some comedy in there that I'm like, oh, okay, it wasn't one of those shows that I grew up watching. I was watching freaking cartoons. I'll go from watching cartoons to Jerry Springer to The Exorcist. Like, my like whole variety of like what I watched on TV, it was wild. It's pretty much like a person today with their music on shuffle. It's like, yeah, one you're listening to 21 Savage, next thing you know you're listening to Mozart, and now you're listening to Johnny Cash, and now you're gonna listen to freaking Skrillex. Like, I'm saying, like, that's that was me when growing up and stuff. So, but now today, as an adult, as a grown man, no, I'm not watching no educational, whatever I didn't learn back then. It's all like, but the thing is this, whatever I didn't learn back then, all right, that I can't learn, or yeah, if I didn't learn it back then, there ain't, for me, I just don't see no reason of learning it now. And I guess everybody is different. Maybe some people just wasn't really a learner in school and it took them a little bit longer than usual. But no, I'm saying though, whereas like with that though, it was just, I found that weird, because it was like, that show is catered towards kids. Why are there grown adults pretending to be characters of this show on the internet, knowing that kids, of course, kids are going to eventually, they're going to go and search up Thomas the Tank Engine. Then they're going to see Thomas the Tank Engine on Twitter. Then they're going to come across this account. And then they're going to be like, hey, are you really, I don't want my kids talking to no adult pretending to be no cartoon character. So no, I remember when I had got into it with people that was talking on that, because I still to this day find it weird. That's something where I was like, I guess like at the same time, but times have changed. I'm like, no, if you're a grown adult pretending to be a kid's cartoon, and even it doesn't even matter if it's that, it don't matter if it's SpongeBob, it don't matter what the situation is, all right? If you are pretending to be a character catered towards kids, all right, and you ain't doing it in like no adult comedy fashion, yeah, you're weird. I'm gonna just say that right now. I'm like, fam, you are weird. Because I get like if you're doing a voice over the SpongeBob, but you're doing it in some like adult comedy way and things, but no, if you're doing it and it's like, that stuff is gonna be catered to kids, it's like, come on, bro, that's weird. All right, so, But anyways, but yeah, this is, and I feel like people will see stuff like that, and then yeah, again, they think all content creators are like that, and I'm like, I just want to be here to tell you guys, like, all content creators are not the same. We are different in our own ways. Like, people are gonna most likely, but even with the YouTube boxing stuff, I feel like, if let's say, like if the situation was different with Logan Paul, he knocks out Floyd Mayweather, lays him down, his stomach, head, all that stuff, and yeah, I feel like people are gonna look at YouTubers where it's like, oh, they think they this and that, because the thing is, I know with that whole, like, with YouTube boxing, I feel like it's gonna get to a point in time where a YouTuber box the right boxer and he or she has a win over them, and then everybody's gonna be all like, challenging all these different, thinking, oh, all YouTubers can fight, I'm just gonna say this right now, I don't think there's some YouTubers that I met where I'm like, they don't look like fighters. All right, so, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, talking to YouTubers, it's like, you guys gotta separate your content creating reality from your real life reality. All right, don't be going out in public acting like a content creator when you don't need to be acting like a content creator. I get, like, if you're one of those people, like, where you go out in public and you're asking people questions and stuff like, hey, what are your thoughts? Like, okay, you're interviewing people. You're an interviewer. There ain't no issues with that. Everybody can interview anybody. So, but if you doing some old dumb stuff where it's like, okay, you're going to potentially get yourself into a fight, it's like, fam, be prepared for a fight, all right? So, yeah, and it's so, and the YouTuber in that JaVale McGee video, it's like, no, that is a lucky guy, because you could have met somebody that like, they like to fight. Like, what if it had been like Ron Artest, like, the day of the freaking the brawl in the Malice, the Malice in the Palace, I think that's what they call it in the things. It could have been that same day, and it's like, bruh, you lucky, okay? That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, I just think people, they need to understand that it's like, separate the content creating reality from the real life reality, and I think, everything can go okay. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe, and if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 46 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss, and make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets, whether it's sport tickets, music tickets, whatever type of tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock $20 off your next purchase. First purchase. But anyways, and then also, if you are purchasing any energy drinks or sleep drinks from Poggers, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock 10% off of your next purchase. And if you are purchasing any controller accessories from Fatal Grips, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It would knock 10% off of your next purchase. I felt like I was struggling, but I held my ground when it came to that Fatal Grips promotion. But if you want to learn more about Fatal Grips, Poggers, or SeatGeek, you can go to my Twitter account. They're in my bio section, their usernames. And yeah, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.